Hello, hello. Today we're talking about this topic that I completely love, and it's been on my mind because I am, or have been at that college age, or you get that since you're like 12 of like, what are you going to be when you grow up? And then you get to college age and they're like, which college are you going to? Oh, you're not going to college? And you get all of this like weird energy. And I'm here to just talk about this. And if any of you are going through this, to validate your concerns or your feelings, and yeah, and all the stuff going on about college. So I was at a Charlie Kirk event. He's a conservative radio host and speaker, and he's really good. And he's written this book called The College Scam. And when I heard about that, my ears pricked up, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good, because everyone is all about college, and in America at least, colleges are not the greatest. And anyways, so I was at this Charlie Kirk event, and just how unapologetic he was speaking against college, I was like, wow. Because all this time I've been hiding against oh, I'm doing college classes on the side, or yes, college is great. Like, yes, I agree with you, college is good. All of that stuff. Or, oh, your kid is going to college, oh, good for you. And after that, I was like, you know what? No more. I have to be constantly pleasing everyone else? Like, no. They can start, they don't have to agree with me, but I'm not going to keep, agreeing with them and validating them, okay? We're done with the people pleasing. So, I think I've been against college since I was 12, when I realized that it was even an option to not go to college. I hadn't realized it was an option before then, but when I was 12, I met these friends, and their oldest kids hadn't gone to college, and they were super successful, and I was like, wow, that's an option. And because I I was good at school, but I surely didn't love it. And when I was 8 years old, I was like, I'm never going to college for 8 years, because that's my entire life. As an 8-year-old, you're like, you think you've been there forever. But anyhow, um, but now and people still do, because I just look younger, I guess. They make fun of or make you uncomfortable that you're not going to college. And it's like, I would always feel dumb when they would act that way. But now I'm like, you know what? You're the one that's dumb if you're not realizing it. Because all these people, they send their kids to college. Their kids are doing absolutely nothing. I always thought that college was something that was all day and really hard and all this stuff. No, college is 3 days a week and a few hours out of that. You could totally be working, and most kids don't work through college. And it's this big mess that let's get into this. So, sure, college is good if you know what you want, or you want to be a doctor or an engineer or something. Yes, go to college if you know what you want to do. But for the most of us, most kids do not know what they want to do with their life. And either that, or the careers or jobs they go into don't even need a college degree. If you're going to work at Chick-fil-A or something, you don't need a college degree, Or even if you're a mechanic or a realtor and they make great money, or an investor or an entrepreneur, you do not need the college degree. So, I'll say this personal story about a family I knew, and they were so-called conservative family, I guess, and they had 3 kids, and they sent their oldest one to college, and pretty soon they were not talking about her anymore. And when someone stops talking about someone, it means they have nothing good to say. And it was kind of sad. Things went downhill. She went to, this university in Arizona, and things just went downhill. And then 2 years later, they send their second kid to college, and he's going for this underwater basket weaving degree. What is it? Global warming stuff for businesses. I don't know what you do with that degree or how it helps. But he's going for that degree, and he's a brilliant kid. He's the one that I totally looked up to all my childhood, because he was super in calculus, he was just so brilliant for his age and in school or anything. Like, he was so smart. And then he goes for that. And I was like, what? So now they're saying that they're not sending their third kid to college. And I'm like, that's so interesting, because probably things have happened to the older two that, they become crazy, because that's what is happening nowadays at colleges. And so now they're not going to send their third kid. And they've realized that it's so much money, they're not going to have enough money for retirement if they send their third kid to college. So yeah, it's kind of rough. And then there's this other girl. And I'll be talking about this from like a conservative perspective, but you can take it from however you want. But there's this girl that I had a friend who did shotgun shooting, and he was, really, really good at it. And his coach's daughter was in it, and she was pretty good. And so she goes off to university in Arizona, and the same one the other girl did. And in like 6 or 8 weeks, like really fast, she doesn't want anything to do with guns. Like she left her shotgun, like she won't even come pick it up. She's just become completely whacked up. Like, I won't say any of the other things, but it's really sad. Like, it happened so fast, and she grew up in a pretty decent family with pretty decent values, and it's really sad. Or there's this other guy who was my dad's age, and my dad had hired him to work for him when he was younger, and he was going for, I don't know if he had like a biology degree or something, and he couldn't use it, so he was out working construction. And pretty soon he gets another job later in life, and he has to go back to college for another degree. And so now they're like so many hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and it's a big burden to carry, especially when it's a degree you won't even use, So it's kind of sad. Or you go to college and you become a complete Lulu, like a complete like liberal and Democrat. There's other older people that I know that they're great people, and they're like, yeah, I was raised, conservative everything, but I went to college, and now I'm like so dead, Democrat and liberal, and my parents can't figure it out, and I can't figure it out either, but I'm not changing. And I'm like, okay, So, yeah. My stories of college are not the best. Some people, they can go to college and they turn out just fine, but they don't use their degrees. But still, what's the use of that? So, like if you read Charlie's book, it's like pretty data heavy. And there's lots of research and cold, hard facts, which a lot of people have a hard time with these days. But facts are life. I love facts. He puts the college industry on trial because he knows that college is a scam. And he also knows that the college being a scam is an unpopular argument. That's what I meant to say. He says there hasn't been a lot of backlash on the book because it's a difficult argument to disagree with. He makes excellent points. And I mean, we can see college campuses are dark. The spirit is dark there. Like if we have our eyes open, or even if they're shut, we can still feel that. And we all know what pretty much everyone there does, okay? Let's just be honest, we know. They party, they drink, they sleep around, they waste time and money, and it's something they used to hide behind. It's true. Like, why don't people see that? And if I'm looking down, it's because my notes are down here. So he was saying that his book will save you $200,000 in tuition and from becoming atheist and crazy. So what does scam mean? Well, it means they're defrauding. So what is defrauding? Well, think of it as if you're getting a product, So like 41% of people that buy and don't get the product. Would you think that's a fraud? If 41% of people who buy this product do not get the product? I would say yes, that's a scam. Well, that's what it is with college. 41% of people in college drop out. And only 50% on top of that end up getting jobs. And in fields they didn't even need the degree in. Like, did you catch that? And this means that 60 to 70% of kids in college shouldn't even be there. And so the 41%, those numbers, I got it from the National Education Statistics. So the argument for college that people say is, oh, well, college will develop my child's mind and they're going to hear other ideas. And Charlie's response to that is, like, what are you talking about? Like Hillsdale College? Okay. But the vast majority, like 98% of colleges, are postmodernism. It's atheism. It's anti-Americanism. It's really sad. And they're not even learning. Because Charlie, like he'll go to college campuses, and the kids don't even know about John Locke. They don't know about Thomas Sewell. They don't know about those people. And it's really crazy. And if you don't know about them, then, do some little bit of research. They were great people of America's past. So half of all employers say that college grads are not prepared for the workplace. And another point is some majors are completely useless, like underwater basket weaving. But even if you do engineering, okay, or a degree like that, the main point is you still have to take wacky classes. And I'm quoting Charlie when he says, I can say this, that the broader canon of nonsense that is being taught on these campuses would make most parents react in total shock. And that's true, because when I was 17, I was listening to this other parent. I was in a speech and debate club, and he was saying that he sent his oldest son to ASU, Arizona State University, I think. And the first thing they did was have them pick what they wanted to call themselves. And that's the first thing of rebelling against, authority, because other people in authority have chosen your name, So anyways, it's like a little sidetrack I took, but I thought that was very interesting. I've never heard of somebody doing that. But see, college is crazy. See, Charlie goes on to say that, and I quote, even if your kid goes off and does an engineering degree or a pre-med degree, you're going to find out that the kid is going to be indoctrinated by orientation courses. Okay, we're back. You're going to find they're going to be indoctrinated by orientation courses and also the general feel of what goes on in campuses in this postmodernism, which says that there is no truth, and there's a whole bunch of woke science being taught as well, unquote. Like, even pre-med students are being taught that men and women are not different. Like, what? Like, the first thing you watch when you watch, like, an animal show, like National Geographic or whatever they're called. Like, we used to watch them when we were younger and when we used to have TV. The first thing they talk about with animals is the differences between the male and the female of the species. And if they believe that humans are animals too, wouldn't there be some differences between the men and the women? Especially if you're a doctor, I would hope that they know that they're different, Anyways. So, another point is you can make more money right away by being a tradesman at 19 and start life without the debt. Especially because most 17-year-olds don't even know what they want to do. And they can do college later when they figure it out and know for sure, And there's a chapter in his book called How to Succeed Without a Degree. And it's amazing. And he credits Jordan Peterson, who I absolutely love. There's a lot of stuff you can learn from these people, of self-authoring that chapter. And anyways, I'd say read that. And another point is you can take courses that you are interested in and need to learn from Hillsdale and other places, Like when I was in speech and debate, the topic was economics. So I took a course from Hillsdale on economics. And I didn't have to go to a whole college course of, all kinds of other things. You can just pick and choose what you need to go through life with, And so another thing Charlie says is, and I quote, I understand that as a suburban parent, you think you'll be a failure if your kid does not go to four-year college. Please resist that. It is not true. Do not send your kid to college because you're afraid of telling your neighbor and you're going to be embarrassed that little Johnny didn't go to University of Texas of Austin. That is a bad reason to send your kid to an indoctrination camp. I'll say that again. That is a bad reason to send your kid to an indoctrination camp. Okay? Like, who cares what other people think? We are not trying to keep up with the Joneses here, okay? Because we see what their kids are like. So, Charlie Kirk is not anti-education, okay? He is very much for education. Like, even if you listen to him, he's a very well-educated guy. He can put his words together. He can pull things from all kinds of sources and make an argument. Like, that's more than most of us can do. Like, he is very much pro education. Like, he studies and learns like all day long and takes classes, which is more than I can say for most people, and especially about college kids. So never stop learning. Listen to the great people of our time, not the news and social media. Study history, listen to podcasts, turn off your phone and read. Get away from Netflix and the TV. You don't have enough time to learn everything on your own and experience it yourself. Learn from others. And it's easy, okay? It's so much easier that way. And, okay, so this is more of a personal note that you'll probably find funny. But in 2020, in December 10th of 2020, I made this note I'd written this note called "Why No to College?" Because my dad really wanted me to go, and I really did not want to go. Like, it was set in my mind since I was 12. And I needed more reasons than it doesn't feel right, because that usually doesn't win arguments very well. So these are my list. I have wacky people, indoctrinating agendas, it is better to walk alone than in bad company, like George Washington had said. It's a waste of time and money and energy. Life is too short to waste all of this on. It won't help me in any way. People get in debt with useless degrees, which equals joblessness and debt. It makes feminists and horrible people. And do I really want to spend time with them? What I will be doing in life doesn't need college. In fact, it wastes years of youth. And in caps lock, I have written, I don't need to waste my life as a career woman. And I listed names of women I knew that had done that and are miserable. So my last point was, so you want me to go to college? What do you want me to become educated in? Sin? 2 question marks. So that's my thing against college. And if any of you guys are like deciding yes or no to college, or are feeling bad because everyone makes you feel bad that you're not going to college, start taking a stand in your truth and say that they're the ones that are the wacky ones for believing college is good, okay? So stop feeling bad, because that's something I feel that I wish I had all of this time. Was instead of feeling bad when people make comments or like, oh, you're not going to college? Or me just trying to hide behind saying like, yeah, I'm taking college classes on the side. No, be open and honest about it, and you have all of your reasons now. And there's so many things to be making money on the side. Like, you can have Airbnbs, clean someone else's Airbnbs. You can work in construction. That makes great money because most people don't work these days. You can be a realtor. You don't even need a college degree for that. And you can, the sky's the limit with that. It depends on how hard you want to work. You can do crypto investing. You can do, real estate. There's all kinds of businesses online that you can do to make money. There's so much out there. So don't feel like college is the way you have to go, because it's not. And I know this is probably a controversial topic. If you disagree with me, I understand. Definitely be nice in the comments, because we all have different opinions, and I'm not forcing these on you. So anyways, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.